Hello and welcome to episode 4 of my thoughts from the Tan Man. The Tan Man's this chair sitting behind me, underneath me. And today's episode is about the benefits of fasting. There's a lot of videos out there that will tell you about the benefits of fasting. This is just my top few benefits from my own list of things because I've been intermittent fasting since February of 2018. So I eat once a day typically, sometimes a little bit more than that. I usually don't eat any food from the time I wake up until I hit about 6 o'clock, somewhere between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. There's some variability there, but I'm pretty good about that. I find it to be pretty easy. And I want to show you what that did in my life. I'll show you this little picture before I get started, just so you can see what this did for me. In one period of time, I made this transformation that you can see here. That's just 1 year of my fasting regime, I guess you call it. And there's a lot of people out there fasting. I don't claim any particular, originality or anything like that. My system, as I'm outlining in these series of videos that I'm making for everyone out there, is unique to me. It's a blend of multiple things that I've put together. I've already covered meditation. Now I'm getting into fasting, and next time we'll get into the mind section of my reprogramming and my reformatting techniques. I got into fasting because I had gone through a very difficult situation in my life, and I got to a point where I actually felt sick when I tried to eat, which is not normal for me. I usually, if I'm stressed, I'll eat. I'm like a stress eater. I'm a binge stress eater. And that's how I got so big in that photo, was by eating from stress, trying to deal with stress by eating, which doesn't work. But I got so upset at this situation in my life that I felt sick when I tried to eat. And so I came across information about fasting, and I said, well, I know I cannot eat because I was feeling sick. I dropped like 20 pounds just from feeling sick every time I ate for over like a month period of time. And then a couple months later, in the February of 2018, I decided to try intermittent fasting. So here's some of the benefits from fasting from my own experience, having done it for over 5 years now. Number one, this is probably, well, I don't know that any are most important, but here's a big one: more time. I would estimate that breakfast is going to take at least a half hour, if not an hour, depending on shopping for the food and deciding what you want to eat for breakfast and eating the breakfast. If you're super regimented, I guess it could be 15 minutes. But there's at least 15 minutes there, maybe an hour of time that you've just saved. You've added that time to your day. And then lunch, how much time do you spend thinking about lunch, going to get it or having it delivered or whatever? To me, you're saving an hour to two every single day. Considering that you have about 18 waking hours in a day, getting an extra hour or two of that 18 back for your own use is huge in your life. I can't even, time's the one thing that's the most limited thing we have. And if you can get time back, it is amazing. That's a huge benefit of the intermittent fasting that I've been doing for the past 5 years. The second one, not as important, but more money. Who doesn't want more money? You're going to save money. Dinner's going to cost me a little bit more because I eat a little bit more at dinner, right, than I would if I had 3 square meals a day. But, you're going to save easily $10 a day, $20 a day, easy. And that adds up over time. That adds up. So more money, more time, that's a double whammy. Then, of course, there's tons of videos out there about the health benefits. In research, organisms that you starve tend to have much longer lives, so you're going to extend your life, all things being equal. And the quality of your life is going to be better. At a lower weight, you're inevitably going to be at a lower weight. You're just kind of a much higher quality of life. And then there's the autophagy that people talk about, where your body gets so hungry that it goes through your entire system looking for food. And what it does, it'll select the weaker cells that you have, and it will consume them and get rid of them, and you'll create new cells. Fasting's proven to dump stem cells into your body, including into your mind. So it's going to make the mental rewiring that we talk about in a later episode, it's going to make it more powerful for you. It's going to make you a lot smarter, a lot sharper. There's a sharpening that takes place. At some point, once you get fat adapted in your fasting, meaning that your body can switch from burning off of like food that's in your system to just burning off of the fat stores that you have, that's called being fat adapted. Once you get fat adapted, there's also a mental sharpening that occurs. As a fasted individual, an individual that's not fed and that's hungry, it's actually going to ramp you up. And that's what I'm going to talk about for the last benefit that I want to get into here is the concept of being hungrier. It has a lot of crossover to a lot of areas of life, but like when you get hungry, your body doesn't shut down. It doesn't make you weaker or more tired. It actually is the opposite because your system is built in such a way that when you get hungry, it amps you up so that you can find food. Your body's saying, well, this guy's struggling to find food right now. The answer to that is let's amp him up. Let's dump stem cells in his brain. Let's make him smarter. Let's make him sharper. Let's improve his memory. Let's amp his metabolism up so that he can have some energy. This is becoming an emergency for us. Let's dump energy into the system. Let's amp this guy up so we can go find some food to eat. So, I'm not saying fasting for days and days and days doesn't make you tired. I'm not talking about that right now. There's all different kinds of fasting. This is about my own system that I created in my life that took me from where I was, which was not a very good place, to where I am now, which is a very good place. And that involves some kind of fasting in terms of daily fasting and not eating 24/7. My style is, people say it's OMAD once a day. It's not really once a day, but like I have like maybe a 2 or 3 hour eating window that I eat in typically. I try to stop eating at least 2 hours before I go to bed because that way I won't have insulin in my system when my body gets the biggest hit of human growth hormone during the first couple hours of sleep when you're in your deep sleep. Anyway, we can get into that in a later video. My point is, it makes you hungrier, and being hungrier makes you sharper. It makes you more motivated to achieve the goals in your life. And so what you'll find is in a fasted state, once you're kind of through the hard part of getting into it, and we'll get in a later video, I'm going to talk to you about how you actually kind of get into it, or maybe I'll do that right now. Maybe I should do that right now. Here's how you actually get into it. But once you're in that adapted, fasted, hungry state, you're an unstoppable beast, man. You're looking for food and you're amped up in a very subtle way, but in a way that gives you this edge. It gives you this edge in life over other people who are fed and happy and content, and you're just like cutting through them like they're butter and you're a hot knife. So how I actually got into fasting, I think I have a little bit of time left. I can get into that now, and the next episode will not be how to actually get into it. Here's what you do. Very, very simple. Start by skipping breakfast. Skip breakfast for at least a week and go as long as you need to get yourself comfortable with skipping breakfast. Once you're comfortable with skipping breakfast, push your lunch back by an hour if you can. Push it back by an hour. Do that for a week or two. Now, during these two steps, you're going to get hungry. This is the most important part of it. This is going to determine whether you're successful or not. When you get hungry, you need to tell your mind to buzz off. Okay? Your mind's going to throw these thoughts at you. Oh man, I'm hungry. If I don't eat, something bad's going to happen to me. I'll wear a hole in my stomach. I'll get cancer, whatever BS your mind throws at you. You need to tell your mind to buzz off. You need to sit in the seat of power in your life, and you decide when you're going to eat. Every time you tell your mind to buzz off, it's the equivalent of the refocusing in meditation that I talked about in previous episodes. It's kind of the same muscle. This is why fasting and meditation are like so critically together and should be done at the same time. Meditation and fasting. And so you'll win those battles. The more you win those battles where you tell your hunger to buzz off, the stronger your willpower is going to get and the more in control of your life you're going to get. Once you've skipped breakfast for a while and you've pushed lunch back for a while, then the next thing you want to do is take the big plunge and skip lunch too. That's it, man. I would eat whatever I want at first. Just, respect the window, the time window. Don't eat outside of your time window. Make that an absolute. Eat whatever you want to in your window. Outside of the window, you just don't eat. That's it. Water. coffee with no sugar, no milk, no nothing, just straight coffee. Artificial sweeteners can be okay. Just do a little research on that. You want to be careful about what you're doing. Water, tea, black coffee, no sweeteners, no nothing. Water is obviously the most ideal. And then in your eating window, eat whatever you want to. And that's how you get into it. That's the process. There's no magic to it. It's not as hard as it might seem. It's not easy, but it builds incredible willpower. And we'll get into willpower in a later episode. Anyway, that's a little bit about the benefits of fasting. More time, more money, more health. Triple whammy. There's so many benefits. I can't say enough about it, especially when you combine it with meditation, which I think will be the subject of the next episode, which is the synergies between fasting and meditation. All right, guys and gals, whoever's out there enjoying this content, I truly, truly, truly hope you'll light your life on fire and enjoy the beauty that is this world.